Poor little orchid, it's ready to die, but it can still be saved. In this program, we're going to have a look at the most common reason people have trouble growing orchids. I see pictures like this online all the time, and people say, what did I do wrong? What can I do to save my orchid? Well, in this program, we're going to answer those questions. This is what your orchid should look like. If you have orchid problems, 80% of the time is due to rotting roots. But there are a few other problems you should be aware of, and I'm going to cover those quickly because it's important that you know which problem you're actually trying to solve. A well-grown orchid will be flowering, it'll have good-sized leaves, they'll be nice and clean, they'll be green. That's a healthy orchid. This is a Phalaenopsis orchid, and when I use the term orchid, I'm generally talking about this type of orchid, because that's the one that almost all of you have. Now, there are thousands of different species of orchid, but the ones you see in nurseries and grocery stores, the ones that people give as gifts, they're all these Phalaenopsis orchids, or phals for short. The one problem they have is scale and mealy bugs. Now, they're easy to identify. Mealy bugs are little fuzzy white animals that live on the leaves, but you can identify them by that white fuzz. Scale is a very similar type of insect. It will move when it's very young, then find a spot to live on, and then it stays there. And it forms a kind of half-moon shell over itself to protect it. Now, scale and mealy bugs are fairly common. If you take your orchids outside for the summer, it's quite possible they'll get it there. If you bring other house plants into the home, they also bring scale and mealy bugs. And it's pretty easy to get rid of. There are two solutions I recommend. The first one is rubbing alcohol. You can take a Q-tip, rubbing alcohol, and just dab it on the insect. And that works well if you only have a couple. The problem is they like to hide in the cracks of the plant. And the best way to get at those is to actually spray the whole plant with rubbing alcohol. Another solution is one that I came up with years ago, and that's water and baby oil. The oil coats the insect and it suffocates. It's very effective, and since it's a spray, it can be sprayed in all the nooks and crannies. Take a regular sprayer, fill it 80% full of water, add about 20% baby oil, and a couple drops of liquid dish detergent. That helps the two mix. Then shake it up really well. Keep it shaken. If you have several plants, shake it between each one. Cover the whole plant, top and bottom. Get it in all the nooks and crannies. Now, if you've used the right amount of oil, the leaves will be shiny. If you haven't used enough, you won't see the shine. And if you've used too much, the leaves will be sticky. In any event, it will work, and the stickiness will go away after a while. There's a lot of talk about viruses on orchids, but that's not something you have to worry about. You rarely see it on the ones that you're going to buy for your home. Another one is fungal infection. And these orchids are pretty tough, and they usually don't get a fungal infection, so don't worry about that either. The other problem you might have is crown rot, and that's a bacterial infection. What happens there is that you get water trapped in the crown of the plants, and it stays there too long, and that allows the bacteria to grow and infect the plant. Crown rot is fairly easy to identify. What you'll find is that your leaf looks pretty good, especially at the tip. But down at the base where it attaches to the plant, it starts going yellow and then brown, and then it just falls off. That's crown rot. Solution to that is also pretty simple. Get yourself cinnamon and just cover the crown of the plant with cinnamon. Any wet spots, any brown spots, put cinnamon on there. Cinnamon is an antifungal and antibacterial agent. It dries up the spots, and that usually clears it. Other than that, orchids are pretty easy to grow provided you water them correctly, and I'll discuss that near the end of this program. When someone posts a picture of a problem orchid, I have a look at the orchid itself. And if it has root rot, here's the telling signs that that's the problem. The plant's usually small because it hasn't been grown very well. It doesn't have any roots to absorb nutrients, so it's not doing very well. The leaves themselves are soft and hanging down. They should be sticking straight up and very stiff. These Phalaenopsis orchids have very, very thick leaves. They should never droop. So if the leaves are drooping, it's a sure sign that this plant is not getting enough water. The other thing you notice is wrinkles in the leaves. When orchids stop getting enough water, the first sign is wrinkles in the leaves. They're still nice and stiff, but you'll see wrinkles in them. As the water problem gets worse and worse, the leaves eventually go soft and limp. So wrinkled leaves tell you the plant is not getting enough water. That doesn't mean it needs to be watered. It just means the plant isn't getting enough water. Then I have a look at the base of the plant and have a look at the roots. You should see nice green root tip. The roots should be growing. The older roots should be nice and thick. If they're very thin, that indicates a dying plant. Now, if you have some roots that are old, that's okay. But you want to see a lot of big, thick, healthy roots. The plant I'm looking at here has almost no green tips on the roots. The roots are also shrinking, so they're getting thinner and thinner, which again indicates a lack of water. I also have a look to see how big the pot is that the plant's in. The one I'm looking at here has a small plant in a large pot, and that's not good for orchid. You never want to overplant an orchid. Keep it in a smaller pot. You'll almost never harm an orchid if it's in a pot that's too small. Now, if you have an orchid that sounds like the one I've just described, what should you do? Well, the first thing I do is unpot it. Take it out of the pot and let's have a look at the whole root system. Once you have all the media off the roots, you can have a look at the whole thing and see what's going on. Feel the roots. If they're soft and mushy, they're dead roots. The roots at the bottom of the plant, the ones that were in the media, should be firm and thick and round. Anything that's soggy and squishy is dead roots. Roots that are still solid but they're shrunken down, they're on their way out. Those are useless roots. What I usually see when I look at a plant like this that's in trouble, it has virtually no roots left. Everything's rotten or shrunken. And that's why the top of the orchid has leaves that are really limp. There's no water being absorbed by the roots in the bottom, and so no water is making it up to the leaves, so they're limpy. That's the problem. It doesn't matter how much you water this orchid. It's not going to solve the problem because there's no roots to absorb that water. So although the plant doesn't have enough water, it doesn't mean they're underwatered. In fact, more than likely this plant has been overwatered. And by keeping it too wet, you've rotted the roots, which means it can't absorb water. So no matter how much you water, the plant is still too dry. The other thing I look at is the actual media. It shouldn't be soft and breaking up into small particles. You want a media that's very solid, has lots of air in it. As that media breaks down, it starts decomposing. It starts making this fine material. And that fills all the nooks and crannies in the pot. And when that happens, the orchid is too wet. Even though you might be watering properly, it's never drying out. It's always wet. And that leads to rotten roots. An orchid should be repotted every 2 years without fail. And if you do that, you'll almost never have potting media that's breaking down too much. In fact, what I like to do is keep a label in the pot and put the date on that you repotted it. Because you're doing this every 2 years. You're not going to remember when it's time to repot. But by looking at the date on the label, you know exactly when it's time. So what do you do with an orchid that has virtually no roots? Well, you have a couple options. One is throw it out and get another one. Now you might feel bad about doing that, but it's easier to start with a well-grown orchid and learn to culture that one properly rather than trying to revive this one. But it's not a bad idea to try and revive this one because you'll learn a lot about the culture of orchids. All these old mushy roots have to come off. They're dead. If the roots are very shrunken, you can cut those off as well. They're never coming back. If a root is solid and is still fairly thick, leave it on. It may not be growing, but it will be able to absorb some water, and that's what this plant needs right now. So after cutting off all the old roots, you might have very little left. But orchids are tough. They're really hard to kill. Now it's time to repot the orchid. Find yourself a pot that's just a little larger than the plant itself. If the pot is too big, it's just going to stay too wet. You want one that dries out fairly quickly between each watering. So use a small pot. As I said before, you can't go too small. You're better off smaller than larger. Once this orchid is growing well and has a good root system, you can put it in a slightly larger pot. You want to repot the orchid so that the base of the leaves are just above the top of the potting media. So the orchid generally goes in fairly deep, but you don't want the leaves buried. For potting orchids, I like to use coconut husk. Nice chunky material. It doesn't need anything else in there. Don't add perlite or charcoal or anything else, and especially not sphagnum peat moss. Straight coconut husk, that's all you need. Fill the pot, and as you go, pack it down fairly tight. You don't want to damage the roots, but you also don't want to let it sit loose. You want it to be nice and firm in the pot. When you're done, the leaves will be sticking above the potting media. The roots will be mostly covered with potting media, but if a couple stick out, that's okay. Now it's time to water this orchid. The way I like to water them is to put them in a pot of water and let the water soak up. Leave it there for 10-15 minutes, take it out, drain it really well, and then don't water again until the media is dry. Take your finger and stick it right into the media. You want to feel it dry. Then it's time to water again. When I repot an orchid, normally I would just leave it out in the air. Don't do anything special, don't cover it, don't put a dome on it. If the orchid is really wrinkled, and it's really struggling for moisture, it's not a bad idea to put such an orchid either under a dome or in a plastic bag for a couple weeks, just to let it pick up a bit of moisture from the air. As soon as you see new roots growing or you see the leaves reviving a little bit, get it out of that high humidity area. Orchids do like the high humidity, but it also increases the chance of fungal or bacterial infection, so don't leave it in there too long. Now, if you do that with your sad-looking orchid, there's a really high probability that it will revive itself. These guys are tough plants, so give it a try. And if it doesn't survive, buy yourself another one. If you want to learn more about growing orchids, you can hop on over to my YouTube channel where I have all kinds of videos on taking care of them. And that channel is called Garden Fundamentals. Or if you have some questions about orchids, go to our Facebook group, also called Garden Fundamentals. Post some pictures of your plants and you'll get expert advice on how to take care of them. Now you know everything there is to know about taking care of your orchids when they have root rot. Now if you've got a keen eye, you might have noticed that my orchid here has kind of weird flowers. These are pyloric flowers, which means that the flower is symmetrical through the center. It's an unusual form of flower. And this pink variety is really quite nice. Now, if you'd like to learn more about growing orchids, I have a whole bunch of videos. They'll tell you how to water orchids. They'll tell you how to get rid of mealy bugs. They'll describe my oil and water mixture in more detail. Everything you need to know about growing orchids is in this set of videos right here. Happy gardening.